Well, you're among friends, but let's talk about the introductions here. Now, you know Emily's dad, don't you?
Very well, yes.
Because?
He plays Trigger in the series, doesn't he, eh? Yeah. Good old Trig, isn't he? Yeah.
Man with the brains, our Trig.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I'm glad you don't take after him. You obviously take after your mother.
Well, I don't know if you
She
met
knows
my
she's
mum.
very attractive, she is. I mean, but your father's very attractive. Yeah, in a different sort of way. Different sort of way, yeah.
And you've met Peter?
Peter, yes, I know very well.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh.
We don't want that to don't let that out, please. No, we've met Peter, yes, a number of times. We've been to some little do's together up at the Beeb. And I've watched his career blossom, which I think is marvellous. I think he's doing a wonderful job.
Now, your new series, David, A Bit of a Do, that's a lot of laugh. And also you become a sex symbol in that.
Listen, she's looking for a leading man.
Wait, I'll get your hands off her.
Yes, all right,
We'll talk after.
Yeah, sorry, Pete, you're blown out here. No, that's not true. Is it, girls? Oh, thank you.
No, you've been known for the range of characters you've done, and most of them, I mean, pretty aged fellas. I mean, what's the oldest one you've done?
Oh, the oldest one I did was... I've sort of gone in the opposite direction, because I started off when I was very young, playing first into television. I played the oldest characters in the world, and as the older I got, they were starting to go this way, and they crossed, actually, and went like that. When I first started to do Del Boy, that was the case. But the oldest one I played, I did a series. It was Ronnie Barker, one of the very first things that I ever did, and he was a 100-year-old gardener.
Dithers.
Dithers, the gardener. Do you remember Dithers, the gardener? Do you remember? Oh.
Give us a reminder.
Well... He's covered in hair. He had this terrible old hat on, a pair of glasses and a huge nose with a boil on the end. And the only one who could understand what he said was Lord Russell's, played by Ronnie Barker. Ronnie Barker, he said, "All right, Dithers? Oh, you all right? You got married, miserable, got married." Oh, really? Yeah, tell me, what did he say? How did you get on with him? I got married, I got my brain. Yeah. Hey, what do you think about him? I got in the Holy Ox.
Wonderful. Yeah. You and Michael Caine have something in common, don't you?
Yes, we both have these same dimensions. I mean, not many people know that, Michael. Yes, his living room is 14 by 8, and so is mine.
I was thinking of your dad's, in fact.
Oh, yes, my father. Yes, well, apparently, I heard this a little while ago, but my father was, in fact, a porter at Billingsgate.
You must have known that.
Oh, I knew that. I didn't know his father was. Oh. What's the matter with you, Michael? I mean, we're going to have to break your legs if we're not careful.
So... Yes, they were both Billingsgate porters, yeah.
Yes,
his dad was a character, was yours?
Oh, yes, my dad was a bit of a character. Yeah. He used to get up at crack of dawn about 4 o'clock, cycle there to get by 5 o'clock. Anyway, long and short of the story was that it was during the war, and there were no lights. They had the lights out, it was all blackout. My father had one of those funny little bikes with a little lamp that shone on the front wheel. You know, it didn't show you where it was going, just to see if your wheel was going round. That's all it was. That's all it was there for. And he was hurtling along, because he was quite a young man in those days, he was hurtling along, and he had to go down Archway Hill. He was going down Highgate Archway Hill, and it was pitch black, and suddenly the road disappeared. And it just went like that. And he went into a bomb crater that was about 50 foot wide by about 40 foot deep, and he just went right at the bottom of a bomb. There'd been a raid during the night. And when he came to, about 10, 15, 20 minutes later, he sort of came round and started to try and find his way out, and he couldn't get out. And he was there for some time and kept on falling in. And he started to shout for help. And about 10, 15 minutes later, a couple of heads appeared over there, a couple of torches appeared, and shone down, and my father was at the bottom. He said, "God, help, get us out of here, will you, lads?" A couple of ARP wards. He said, "Bloody hell." He said, "He's had a 50-ton bomb dropped on him, and the bugger's still alive."
You had a proper day job, didn't you, David, before you became an actor?
I was an electrician, in fact, and I did all the wiring in my own house. When I had this cottage built, I did most of the work in it. I did all the wiring. My house that I live in now, I did all the wiring, any extensions, and anything you want, Gov, just let me know. You know, when you move out, I'll give you a good price.
But will you turn up? That's the thing.
Well, it depends whether I've got another contract, you know, would it be?
Emily, can you change the plug?
Terrible. I can't. No, I blow ovens up. Like, in fact, I used to work in a shoe shop where I got the sack. This is before I did, a Saturday job, and I got the sack for blowing the oven up. I was trying to cook toast, but instead I put this. It's really embarrassing. Because actually, I put the toast in the oven and then left the oven on full blast, and the whole thing it didn't actually explode. But I got the sack anyway.
Are you handy, Peter?
Useless. Absolutely useless. It took me... Out of the first flat I bought about 3 or 4 years ago, it took me something like 7 months to decorate the hall because useless. It was a very big hall, actually. I can. If someone tells me how to do something, I can remember they say prime the wall and then put the backing paper up, whatever it's called, and then put the other stuff up and do that. But because I don't know, it doesn't come... Is that not right?
No. They come round to your house.
But it takes so much concentration that it's like I can't just be doing all that and this bish, bash, bosh and all that. I've got to be concentrating on it all. I'm dead proud of it when I've done it. I lived in my hall for about a year after that. I'm so proud of it. To invite people around, have dinner parties in the...
No.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's difficult to believe that Only Fools and Horses is 8 years old now. Did you get the sort of characterisation from all your working around town as an electrician?
Yeah, strangely enough, I did. I've been asked this question...
All right, think of something else.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes. He isn't thinking very hard, is he?
When it first came out, I used to get teased at school because, Trig's a dustman, and all the boys used to say, your old man's a dustman, he wears a dustman. And I used to just hide,
Well, actually, it takes a lot of skill to... I think one of the sad things about that to play Trig, which is this rather dim character, it plays an awful lot of skill to do that. And it's very unfortunate that people identify that and say, he must be a bit daft. Or
I think he needs to play Einstein next, just to take the edge off it a bit.
But he is. It's a wonderful skill, and I'm a great fan of his because you're working with him so closely. It's wonderful to watch the brain tick over when you say something to Trig, and he says to, I said, it's Rodney. Oh, his name's not Dave, then?
No,
Trig, his name's not Dave, it's Rodney. Ah, I see. What's Dave then, a nickname? It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
But Nick Lyndhurst was on the show some time ago, and I was quite surprised that he's a great practical joker. In fact, the pair of you are. Any nasty ones you can think of?
Well, we've done a number. It was one of the first series that I remember that we did. We decided we were getting a bit fed up because it was raining and they hadn't turned the camera over all morning, and we were getting a bit fed up. And Nick and I didn't know each other very well then. We started to realise that we were getting on very well. I don't know which one of us it was. We said, it's getting very boring around here, isn't it? Nothing's happening. Nobody's doing anything. No action. Why don't we have a row? So I said, that's a good idea. Let's have a row. What should we have a row about? I said, it doesn't really matter what we have a row about. Let's just have a scene and say that we're not going to work this afternoon and we do not want to work with each other ever again. So we said, good thinking. Right. So what happened? The queue to the tuck wagon went past our Winnebago, our caravan. Thing on wheels, whether you've had one of those, or the same thing. They promise you a Winnebago, and then it turns out to be some little caravan that second-hand caravan somebody got rid of. Anyway, there's this big queue outside this store. We said, that's it! How dare you speak to me like this? I have you know that I've had experience. I've been working on television a lot longer than you. Oh, yeah. All the people outside the Winnebago again. And that's it. And then there's the chair being thrown. Crash! How dare you! I'm getting out of here. I open the door, Nick gets out. I'll tell you one thing, I'm not coming back. Go on, bugger off. I don't want you on this series. Nick storms off down the road to the pub. Everybody's Wait, have you... They can't wait now, can they? They can't wait to get hold of the director, the floor manager, go run round to the at the front of the queue, always at the front of the queue, the stage manager, and past the extras, quick, get it. They said, Nick and David had a terrible row. What was it about? I have no idea. They come round to see me. I'm in the caravan. I said, what's it about Nick? Don't speak to Nick Lyndhurst. Get him out. I'm not working with him. Recast. I'm sure we can come to some agreement. We've already done half the filming by now. Bottles are going everywhere. So they steam round to Nick. I'm not speaking about it. I don't want him back. They steam round to Nick. He's in the pub. I'm not talking to that David Jason. You get him out. I'm leaving. I'm phoning my agent. Oh. So, after about an hour of this, we got a bit fed up. We said, "Oh, it's all right." We said, "We're only macking about." Macking about? You know it? Yes, we're having a laugh. Oh. But one person we didn't tell was the floor manager. Who's Mandy Fletcher, is now director. And we got her for the rest of the day. We would say, please speak to him. Please speak to him. David, Nick, please. No, I'm not speaking to him. It was you, it was all right. And there was Mandy Fletcher desperate, trying to get us together. We wouldn't speak.
Did you come unstuck with it, though?
No.
Oh, because
we still don't speak.
No, it was great.
No.
But you can come unstuck, because I tried one when we were in Rome. We got together and we said, Brian Murray, who just joined the cast, plays Shifty, said, let's wind Kenneth Grandad up. Let's go and tell him that in the next series, Carla's going to have him die in episode 1. So we went and told Carla, we said, look, we're just letting you know we're going to do this. So if Kenneth comes up and says to you, what's all this about me going to die in episode 1 of the next series? Go along with it, all right? So, well, you know, and we said, Kenneth, look, we've been talking to Carla and we think she's a bit out of order, actually, because she's thinking of killing you off. We think it's a bit much, you know, because you miss out on the whole series and this, that and the other. And we went, what? So then, instead of going to Carla, right, he susses out that it's a joke, right? So he goes to Carla and says, I know, Howard, this is a wind-up. Now, what you got to do is, I'm going to pretend I'm not talking to you. So Carla and Ken are pretending they're not talking to each other. Carla's pretending she's got the ump with me, because I've drawn a rift between Kenneth and Carla. And I'm the only one that no bugger's talking to.
Well, Emily, I hope you're not taking note of any of those.
It sounds like I'm missing out.
No, you stay where you are, kid. You stay where you are. That's the way to do it.
It can be a lot of fun. So, I mean, is there much that any of you in Dell at all, then, after all this, you've told me?
No, I like to think there isn't. I like to think there isn't, really. But Dell's character is always something that's always not quite straight. It's always a bit off the end of the wagon, whatever. And a couple of years ago, I was having a dinner party with some friends, and some of my family. And my cousin went out of the house to the car to get something, and she felt this great lick on her hand. And what it was a stray dog. And we all went out and had a look at this dog anyway. It was starved and very, very frightened. Anyway, so I put a lot of scraps out for it, and it had these scraps. So over the next week, this dog wouldn't go away. Well, what it got a damaged foot. It got a sort of bandage around its foot. So went down to the vet some weeks later because it wasn't getting any better, and they phoned up and said, sorry, this is it. You've got one or two chances. What's that? You either put the dog down or you have its leg off. So you think, oh, God, what are you going to do? There's all tears everywhere. So I said, well, best, you know, cut her leg off and see if she survives, you know, give her a chance, why not? So the vet was, you know, pretty convinced that it would be all right. So, cut on story short, gone.
How did it go, the leg?
Yeah. Gone. So they bring the dog back after a couple of days, and poor little thing, I mean, it's looking terrible. Terrible. So they said, yeah, she'll be all right now, just settle down, she'll be all right. You just look after her, give her to bed, you know. And this dog now, his eyes are like that, like organ stopped. So it came in at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 4 o'clock the next morning, we're both standing like this. Please go to bed, Peg, go to bed. This dog stood for 24 hours on 3 legs. I tell you what, so I was up all night. It wouldn't go down because of the pain. So I phoned up the vet the next day and I said, sorry, this is ridiculous. This dog, and of course, the poor thing's doing this. It's going like this. It's going like that. And every time, before it collapses, it goes... and then it goes... and then it goes... So I felt really sorry for this poor dog. So I called the vet out. The vet comes round. He says, don't worry. I said, oh, all right. Listen, I'll give her a big jab and she'll be out in 10 minutes. So, yeah, gets the bottle out. Still. 20 minutes later, the dog's still going, oh. So he said, I can't understand this. I can't believe this. He said, I put a huge dose... Come on, this will knock her out. Gets another one. An hour later, we're still looking at this dog. And he said, I can't understand this. He said, I just can't understand it. He said, I've got enough to knock it, you know, and a horse out. He said, it just won't close its eyes. I said, can you blame it? Last time it closed its eyes, it woke up, it got one leg missing.
That was worthy of Del.